Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YINZER Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, the King, and we are the YINZER Bros. Beloved, awesome peoples. It's playoff time. The Steelers are secured the 6th seed, even though they lost their last 4 games.
Secured the 6th seed. I like how you put a little twang on that.
I'm positive, baby. They lost their last 6 games, but they're in. They're playing the hated Ravens.
TJ, I've been in a hell the past 4 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure you have been. It's been rough. So they play Baltimore 8 o'clock this Saturday. And Tim, here we are again. Tim, why do you got the Burger King mask on tonight?
TJ, I'm just so nervous. I got the mask on. Put it this way: if I took the mask off, people are gonna probably be like, "Put the mask back on." This is my. I had to do something to change something up. This is like my no hope mask. I don't know what it is. Like something has to happen with this mask on.
Tim, how bad is it now with Notre Dame winning the other day? Is it like ridiculous there?
TJ, my CFO was at the game last night.
He's a big Notre Dame fan, isn't he?
He went to Notre Dame. I mean, he sent me a picture. I don't know if I should tell this online. He sent me a picture of Ryan Clark. Was sitting right next to him.
Like the Ryan Clark, the Steelers' Ryan Clark?
Put it this way. He sent me a picture, and it was just 2 random black guys. He said, Ryan Clark. It's Ryan Clark. I'm like, that's not Ryan Clark. That's just 2 random black guys.
That sounds like a typical Notre Dame fan to me.
But I will. He did send me pictures later. Ryan Clark was actually sitting about 5 seats from him.
Really?
Ryan Clark, his kid goes to Notre Dame.
I didn't know that. Was he like a D-back or something?
He is a D-back for Notre Dame.
Is he any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because, Steelers like bloodlines.
Oh, TJ, don't worry. We'll have them all. We'll have Dino will be our second pick. Dino Tomlin. I don't know, Clark's kids, he'll be the 3rd pick. And then eventually I think Bettis' kid goes to Notre. They're all, it's going to be, we're going to, me and you, we're going to be sitting, we're like, feels like 2005 again. Feels
right.
like 2005.
What position does Bettis' kid play?
Probably running back. I don't know.
Is he big like Daddy?
I don't think he's as big as Dad. I mean, Daddy was big, but I think
he's a big guy.
I think Plexico's kid goes to Notre Dame.
Really? Keep the firearms away from him.
I said to Mark, I'm like, I mean, Notre Dame used to have those standards where there's only guys like me and you getting in there. I guess times they are changing over there at the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true. No, that was so.
It was painful watching the game last night. I mean, anytime I'd say anything good about, like I thought, like I'm watching that PSU quarterback. I'm like, they're winning. I'm like, this dude, I could see him being quarterback 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Had a lot of Ben Roethlisberger in him. As soon as I would text that, kid would throw an interception, do something crazy.
It was bad. He got the specs, but he did not. The game was too big for him.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it sucks, dude. No, Notre Dame. I mean, their time's coming. They got 2 weeks. They're on the clock.
I mean, after they got beat by, who did they get beat? They got beat by some like vocational school, didn't they?
They got beat by Northern Illinois, dude. Northern Illinois' quarterback looks like me physically.
Well, they didn't do very good.
So I don't know. I mean, but I like Freeman. That's like for me, that's like the poison. I like Notre Dame's coach.
Yeah. I wonder how long he'll be there.
He's got pro. TJ, come on, dude. You got every pro's kid going there. He's got pro written all over him. Nothing would see me more to see him go to the Bears and just fail.
I've heard that, like, if Tomlin leaves, which I don't think he is going to, but if he goes to the broadcast booth, I heard that the Steelers would make a play for him.
Freeman?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark would give me hell for the rest of my life.
That would be bad. It would be. So I don't know. So Tim, how was the rest of your week? Is it cold there? Are you shoveling snow?
Oh, I mean, nothing like coming home from work, being there for 15 hours. I goes to work today at 5:30 in the morning, and you come home at 5 and got to shovel snow in your driveway. Feels great, TJ.
How's that snowblower working for you?
It's not deep enough for the snowblower just yet.
But
my wife's trying to talk. My wife's trying to talk me into going sledding with the little one tomorrow.
You should do that, Tim.
Right. She was looking at Melissa was looking at. She's like, I'm going to order a sled off of Amazon. She was showing me some of the sleds. I go, Rocket Man's not fitting in any of those sleds.
You have to get the larger model for that. They call that the deluxe. That's the deluxe model.
I need one of those tubing, like the tubes
big
that
ones.
like you pull from the boat. I need one of those tubes.
I'm with you. Maybe in an arrow form. So you know what I did? I had some adventurous, ambitious kids knock at the door. So they'd shovel the whole driveway for $20, and that's the best $20 I spent.
That's the difference between neighborhoods of you and me.
Yeah, you have a pretty busy street where you live. You live basically on the highway.
It's not even that, TJ. I try to ask some of my buddies, their kids, to, I would pick up all the leaves and put them to the side of my road. All they'd have to do is bag them, and I would pay them $100. They'd be done in 20 minutes. You know what they do? They just whip by my house in their Mercedes-Benz and go, yeah, right, and just take off.
Flip you off and take off, huh?
Basically.
Yeah. So I told this. We told the others, hey, anytime you want to come and move snow here, you're in, baby.
TJ, if you want to, I'll fly those kids out and they can do my drive, and I'll fly them back.
Tim, we have a neighbor across the street doesn't like us. In fact, we have ring footage. We had a young adult thing here, and one of the kids parked in front of her, like just not in the grass, just in front of her house. She came over on the Ring camera, told my daughter that if they didn't move that car, she was going to slash the tires.
Really?
And she's like, I don't know, I think she's 72, 73. So you know what we did? This is what we did, Tim. We paid to have her driveway cleaned as well.
I would have put her directly on the Ring app, and I would have just spread that out through the neighborhood.
Tim, I would have used that. We would have ruined her.
TJ, I'm just telling you, man. I get some of the most entertaining hours I have. I get down wormholes when I get the Ring app. There'll be pictures coming. I just read the comments for an hour and a half.
Tim had a pretty epic one where it was the funniest thing ever. He was coming on the back of his car and he had a little slip moment. He didn't go all the way down, but it was pretty darn close. And before he got in the house, his wife sent me the footage of the Ring app.
Dude, I mean, that shovel, at the time it didn't, I don't know if it was the time where the shovel, I slipped so bad, the shovel went from my driveway into the middle of the road, which is I would have placed probably in the top 3 in the javelin. That's a pretty good distance. It was insane. And I felt like a ton of bricks. I will say this, I got a massage the other night for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm getting old, because my body is still trying to recoup from that from Wednesday.
How was the working on the calves doing for you, Tim?
She went to my calves, and I just said all I could muster out is a cry was they're sensitive. That's all I said. They're sensitive.
Oh, Tim, they're sensitive. Oh, my. Well, I'm glad you had a good week. Before we break down the Ravens game, let's take a look into the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the Yinzer fans, get to tell us anything. You get to ask us any questions on this international podcast. If you'd like to ask a question, you could email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, that's yinzerbros@gmail.com. And if you're lucky enough, we will read your question on the air here. So, Tim, do we have anything in the Yinzer mailbag tonight?
This is even more painful. I think the Mush sent these questions in from actually sitting at the game yesterday at the.
I'm glad he was thinking of us when he was out there enjoying that game.
He sucks, man. He's going to keep beating you too. I think you crack again. He wants to know, hey, your offensive MVP this season, Boz, of course. TJ, care to defend Russ?
I can't. It has to be Boz. The season is over. We're in the postseason now, so you know what? I will yield to that. Russ, he did not look great against Cincinnati. I mean, we need Russ to cook this week, so he's got to be better. So I want to give it to Boz since he's great. By the way, I got a little nervous. He was on the injury report. He's not on it anymore.
Who?
Boswell.
Don't you you put that in the atmosphere? I didn't see that.
He was, and then he's fine now.
TJ, I didn't see that.
I'm telling you.
You're making that up.
I'm not. He was on there.
Okay. Pickens is non-existent the last 4 games he played. Has he quit on the team? What must he do for them to beat the Ravens?
He has to, in my opinion, be what he should be, one of the top 2 or 3 people on the field.
Yeah,
he's got to get
angry.
TJ?
He needs to fight people in the stands. That's what he needs to do.
I agree. I think he's best when he is. I think this is what I think. We'll talk about this a little bit later. I think the Ravens are pushing all the buttons to get him. He's best when he's angry and he feels like he has something to prove. So he's been quiet this week, which is relatively good for us. And I just think he's going to come out, and I think he's going to be one of the reasons we take over the game.
He better be.
I mean, what else do we have?
There's only two things that he could possibly do. He can either take over the game, or he's going to get thrown out of the game within 3 minutes of the game. So there's only two. There's two drastics.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're totally right. So I think all the buttons are getting pushed to where, I mean, he has to have a great game for us to win.
I agree. He has to. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, what does that mask smell like?
TJ, this thing has been in. I was scared there was a rat or something in it downstairs. I pulled it out. I go, this is going to be trouble. It feels
how hot is it, Tim?
It's not that hot. It just feels like it has COVID just running all through. Like I'd see COVID running all through.
For those of you listening, Tim is wearing a Burger King mask. So if you can't see it, I would suggest go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and just to take a look at him with the Burger King mask, because it is pretty dang creepy, Tim.
You see this shirt? Look at the shirt that I got.
We do not see comfort. That's on his shirt too. I love it.
Yes. All right. Yeah, this is getting hot. I can tell. Like my breathe. It's either that or my breathing's because I had a giant. I had a whole I'm back on. I'm nervous eating. I had a big bag of the Bimbos. Okay. What does a loss do against the Ravens in round one? Is it make the year a complete failure?
I don't think it's a complete failure, but it's an incredible disappointment.
You're right.
I mean, it's an incredible disappointment. Yeah.
You know, it's one thing that I didn't even realize I did, but I did it earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I was saying all that stuff about the Steelers are going to take the under?
Yeah.
I actually made a bet on them to be over 7.5 wins, and I got a bunch of money sitting in my account. Absolutely crazy.
Really?
I didn't even realize. I wanted to go check because I'm going, let's go see what kind of activity I had in a while. And I saw that bet slip. I go, that is amazing.
Look at you, Tim. You have the gift, Tim.
You know what else I put a bet on?
What'd you put a bet on?
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize too until I checked it.
Yeah.
That quarterback for Washington.
Yeah.
Around August.
Yeah.
I put him in to win Rookie of the Year. I think I'm going to win big on that too.
I think you are going to win big on that. I think he's the guy.
But then again, I looked at some other bets, like putting that bet on Cincinnati to win the Super Bowl.
How can you have a year like Joe Burrow, like Jamar Chase, and not make the playoffs? I mean,
I don't know.
How's that possible?
I don't know. But I also had a random bet in there, too, with one of the games, 80, catching a touchdown pass. I don't know why I put that one out there. With Darnell Jones or whatever his name is, the big tight end.
Washington. Yeah, Washington.
I don't know why I put that out there because they just don't use him in the red zone, which don't understand. He's 7 foot tall. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, but Burrow, that is, I mean, put it this way. If they would have got in the dance and actually ran the table and won the Super Bowl,
that'd be crazy.
TJ, that would have been the next background on this podcast. Me with that winning bet slip. I'd be like, yeah, this dude. That's all I got. He got some other stuff about, what are we how much are we gonna need to score to beat the Ravens? But I'm thinking we'll save that for for later. The only other question, he goes, another dismal offensive year with a different coordinator. Who's at fault?
I'm going to go on a limb here. This is who I think's at fault. Omar Khan. Because we don't have a legitimate number two. We should have taken care of the number two issue. Wide receiver. I just think our wide receiver core is poor.
TJ, I don't know. Because I'm starting to get in this. Here's what I'm starting to get into, okay? It seems like to do the game plan, let me put it this way. After the game that they lost to Philly, was it Philly? Or maybe even the Ravens, where Russ made those mistakes.
Yeah, it was those Ravens. Yeah.
When did he throw the when did he throw that interception to Freiermuth? Who was that against?
The pick six?
No, the Freiermuth in the middle of the field. Was that against
That was not against. That wasn't against the Ravens. He threw a pick six, and then he fumbled that ball coming in against the Ravens. So that was
was it
probably
against Philly
against.
where he threw that one in the middle of the field?
Yeah, I think it was against Philly. Yeah.
Ever since that, dude, TJ, the game plan, it looks like the same game plan that they were running with Kenny Pickett and Mason them last year.
They got conservative. Actually, Tomlin talked about that this week, and he said they said they need to be more aggressive. He said they did pull that stuff back a little bit.
But here's my thing. Dude. TJ, you've seen that with Ben's last 2 years. It seemed like they were a little bit more conservative. They had an offensive coordinator before Canada, gone. Matt Canada there, that was their offense, very conservative, gone. Arthur Smith, there's some wizard behind the screen pulling that, TJ, and I have a feeling his name is Mike Tomlin.
Oh, it is. Yeah, they said that this week. Yeah, but I have hope because Arthur Smith said we're not because we're doing different stuff this week.
TJ, if I see that toss pitch on the first play of the game, I'm gonna shatter my TV. I'm just gonna shatter it
with Najee, which I don't understand, or no, with even worse than that, Cordell Patterson.
Cordell Patterson on on game needed now drives. Cordell Patterson's in and they're running toss sweeps. I'm like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Who does he have pictures of?
I don't know. It's crazy. No, I'm with you. That those things have got to be gone. They got to be eradicated. So that's I blame it on. And don't get me wrong. I think that we are too conservative with that stuff. If you're not going to win like that, and again, I mean, think about this: the defense, for the most part, held Cincinnati in check last week. The offense couldn't score.
Defense played well, TJ. I can't. They ran the ball on first down like 90% of the time.
So let me ask you a question: which offense scares you more, Baltimore's offense or the Bengals' offense?
This mask sucks. As is constructed right now.
Oh yeah, and even even with the understanding this week coming in, Zay Flowers is out.
I mean, TJ, Zay Flowers being out it's huge. It's huge, dude.
I heard somebody today. Who was it? I was listening to somebody in the. They're doing talk. They're like, "Oh, it ain't that big of a deal. We'll just throw somebody else in." I'm like, "Are you high?"
No, that is. He's their first pro. He's their first Pro Bowl receiver ever. Think about that, TJ. Ever. They have the likes of Anquan Boldin, Steve Smith. Ever.
Yeah.
As of constructed right now, without Zay Flowers, definitely the Bengals.
I agree.
I don't know, man. That's tough because it's you know what? It's almost like you're outweighing. It's like you're weighing the two. It's like is Henry worth the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combination? Because Derrick Henry.
So here's my question: does the first game they didn't have Zay Flowers? And they shut down Henry. Second game, does Zay Flowers open up?
I thought they had Zay Flowers the first game.
Well, this is somebody where they just basically shut down. I think he was hurt, wasn't he?
No, I think he played. No, he played, dude.
Somebody was hurt. One of their main receivers was hurt. Maybe I'm wrong now. I don't know.
No, I know Andrews wasn't Andrews playing.
Maybe it was Andrews who was. Maybe that's
he played. But
yeah. If they can handle King Henry, I think they'll be fine. But do you get anything else in the mailbag? Because we'll talk about that in a sec.
No, even if I did, we got to move on because this mask, I could feel COVID just going in my body. Either that or bird flu or something.
That's great. Again, so if you have any questions to ask us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get you on this international podcast. Let's look at the Ravens now. Tim, can we beat the Ravens again? We beat them once. Can we beat them again?
TJ, here's the weird part. This is going into cycles. I thought after the Bengal game, I was like, there's not a chance in God's creation. Then you get to about Tuesday, you're like, maybe. Then it's like Wednesday, you're like, ears start poking up. Crown starts getting a little fuzzy. By 11 a.m. to this morning, I was in my office waving the terrible.
Well, I mean, the last matchup, let's be real. When you look at the last game, first game, we were in pretty good shape and we beat them. The last game we played, and I get, everybody's like, "Oh, Lamar threw the monkey off his back." I don't know if he did or not. Russ had two very crucial turnovers. We had 3/4 of our defensive backfield was out. TJ Watt was banged up. Ogunjobi was unavailable. He didn't play either. And we didn't have this guy named George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to be missing when you play that caliber of a team.
And you're not counting the fact that the Ravens had their bye 2 weeks before, and then they played the Giants coming out of their bye, which is essentially a bye. We went to Philly and we got beat up. We got straight up beat up in Philly.
Yeah.
Dude, I get it, TJ. When I sat back and I was thinking to this, I'm a straight joker, before the playoffs, like the seedings ever started, I'm watching that last week and kind of saying, where are we going to fall? In my brain, because I knew the Texans were resting everybody because they had nothing, they couldn't move.
Yeah.
I'm going, I think I'm feeling more, put it this way, and I hate to say, as soon as I saw Zay Flowers kind of go down, I'd almost rather play the Ravens than the Texans. I don't know why.
I thought the same thing because I think we do better with that. And did you hear what Harbaugh said about Zay Flowers?
I know. They're just, TJ, I'm just hoping between now and tomorrow, this little short time, nobody from the Steelers says anything stupid. That's all I'm hoping. Just shut up and just go ahead. They're just the comments with George Pickens about him being soft like Lamar's cologne, which is actually hilarious. It's very funny.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh with his, there's a hornet's nest. I feel like there's a hornet's nest coming up. I just do.
When you think about it, I mean, now obviously the Steelers have pressure to win a playoff game, but is it more pressure than what the Ravens are dealing with right now? Because let's just be real, they have not had great success in the playoffs either.
No,
I mean, Lamar turns into a different quarterback in the playoffs. So you couple that with if the Steelers somehow can keep it close or somehow can get up early on them, they can turn into a pumpkin pretty quick.
I agree, TJ. It's they got to do something. To me, something has to happen early in this game to kind of be like, oh no, the seed is. It's either this, either the Steelers got it what they haven't done all year, which is a mind blowing stat that they haven't scored on their first drive.
Yes,
all year, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
If somehow the Steelers get the ball and they score first on their drive, that stadium is going to go like this.
You're right.
And they're going to feel that. Or if there's a play made on that first couple drives that somehow a turnover or something, it's going to be like, and it gets in Harbaugh's head, it gets in Lamar's head, it gets in that whole team's head, and it just, you're going to feel that, and it's going to be like, I don't know, man. Something's in my. I got the spidey senses are out. The spidey senses are out.
I even did you see the TJ Watt interview? These guys, there's just something about them. They seem like they're just dialed in.
TJ, I guarantee though. Here's the thing that's hilarious about this. You could probably take this exact moment in our podcast and clip it against when the last time they played the Chiefs and we had our podcast, and we are probably saying the same crap.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've been they're healthy now, and there's just something. There's something they match up well against the Ravens. They just do.
You know who else didn't play? I don't think was Fields hurt the.
I think he
Ravens
was.
Game?
He was hurt in the last one too. Yeah, he was. So you get that back too with some short yardage stuff, and I'll tell you what, man. We're relatively healthy. I know McCormick's nursing a broken hand, but I think he's still going to play.
But how do you play line with a broken hand?
I don't know. I don't think you get that much drop off of Spencer. What's his name? Spencer. Whatever.
If you can't even say his name, you don't. Yeah, there's a drop off, dude.
Well, I mean there could be, but I think for what we're going to do is it's not like you're losing I think the tackles have to play good games. And again, the Ravens aren't the greatest defensive team on the planet. They're not garbage, but you can throw on them.
You just can't be predictable on offense. You gotta come out and
So what do you think?
Here's my thing. If you're gonna run the ball, put in Justin Fields. That's what you're gonna do. Just do it with just Fields.
Yeah. Because it adds another threat that you don't have otherwise. So let me ask you a question about Russ.
Yeah.
So let's say, I think this game will determine a lot with what they're going to do with Russ next year. Let's say Russ goes in here and he cooks and he balls out and they win.
Yeah.
What kind of contract do you think he gets next year?
His max is $30 million a year.
Okay.
That's to me. If he plays, when I say that, he has to ball out. I think he has to win 2 games to get $30 million a year.
So let's say he wins. Let's say he doesn't win. Let's say they lose and he has a bad game. Is he done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I'm with you. I would probably invest then into Justin and then look at drafting somebody, that would be, a couple years. I don't know. Are there a lot of great QBs coming out this year? I don't think there are there?
No, but I'm going to grab Hawaska. Hawaska 8. I'd give him 12. Give him Bradshaw's number. Don't care.
So, I mean, there's motivation here for us, too, because if he doesn't do well, this could be it for him. He's 36.
I just don't want him to play hero ball. Just play within you. Yeah, that's what I think he's been trying to do the past 2 or 3 weeks. Play hero ball. Just do what you need to do, and don't run the toss. Don't run the toss sweep.
No.
You know what I would love to see? Maybe here's my only acceptable toss sweep play. If Justin Fields is under center, and you fake the toss sweep, and he just does a keeper around the corner.
I think that's beautiful. No, I do think too. You're right. I think that the play calling these last few weeks has not been good. Actually probably since Philly. I don't think it's been great. So Arthur Smith's got to dial it up. He's got to be better too, and they can't be so dang conservative. I mean, in some respect, they're playing with house money. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody's expecting anything from them, which I think is a good place for these guys to be in.
But here's my thing with the toss sweep. I'm going to keep going back to the stupid toss sweep. It drives me nuts. But
you sound like Arthur Smith.
I'm just saying, if you're going to give it to Najee or give it to Cordell Patterson, why don't you put Justin Fields back there and just give him the toss sweep? He's probably the second best athlete you got on the team. He's as big as those dudes.
Oh, I believe it. I think you're right. I think, and hopefully we'll see. I would love to see him out there at least, I'd say if you can get him out there 3 to 4 times this game, I think it'd be great.
You would shake things up, have him.
Oh, he would.
First series of the game, have Fields out there. You don't think that would be Baltimore would be looking at each other going like, what's happening?
You're right. I don't know why he wasn't out there for, it's like 3rd and 1. This last game, 4th and 1. Why isn't Fields out there?
I don't know.
Hey, but he's your guy. Why he should be out there. And I understand that every once in a while he can put the ball on the ground.
He was hurt. I thought he was hurt. Was he hurt?
Well, I mean, he was activated. He could play. Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't make any sense to me. So with all this said, I mean, obviously playoffs are playoffs. It does add a different level because, I mean, you add to the playoff round the rivalry between the Steelers and the Ravens, which I think is probably the best rivalry in football. That being said, and how much they know each other, stuff like that. Tim, what is your score prediction for tomorrow night?
What is my score prediction for tomorrow night?
What is your score prediction for tomorrow night?
It's been going through my head. And I'm going to say this, and I can't believe I'm saying it. The Steelers are going to win. Chris Boswell, field goal, 2017, classic Ravens-Steeler game. We're going on to Kansas City to get our tails just kicked.
So I'm going to be, I'm in a similar vein to you, except I think this week, the offense is dialed in, and I think you're going to see more of what you saw before. And I think it's going to be 27-17 Steelers.
Wow.
I think Russ is going to have 2 TDs. I think they're going to have, and it's possible they're going to have, I'm predicting at least 2 turnovers that they're going to take away, maybe a possible pick 6. I think.
Really?
I think.
Put it back on.
Yeah, I think Lamar is. I think at some point, if they get out in front of him, I think he's going to turn into a pumpkin again. And I think what I think they're doing. I think they're overlooking the Steelers, which is what we did. We classically do that when we go in and play an inferior opponent, or what we think in the playoffs.
When's the last time that's happened?
I mean, probably in my head. Jacksonville, yeah, because we were looking to get back to beat up New England.
I mean, Tomlin actually said that. He actually stated that. He said, "Hey, we'll see New England." Yeah, he actually made that statement.
And then, what was that? Blaine Bortles or whatever his name is, beat the crap out of us.
Yes.
So for us, I think it sounds funny. I like the position we're in because I think our guys are determined, but I don't feel like they have a ton of pressure. Who do you think's carried more pressure for this game, the Ravens or the Steelers?
Oh, dude, I mean, TJ, you have quote unquote the Michael Jordan of football, and he hasn't got he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
Yes.
All pressure's on Baltimore. I get it. It is. It is. But I mean, there is a lot. To me, there is still some pressure on Russ because you got guys like Russ, and you probably have guys like Pickens too. You got to produce. I think he's gone if he doesn't produce.
Yeah.
You'll get rid of him somehow, some way, and Russ is gone.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's motivation for them. We'll see if that dials these guys in. I think Russ is always motivated, but I think it'll be different for him. And the one that I think he's going to be the wild card in that. Literally, is going to be Pickens. If Pickens can get back to being what he was, and he's focused. I think he just wasn't focused against the Bengals, but I think he'll be focused for this game.
On the flip side, I'm kind of curious of hypothetically what happens if they do get blown out.
If they get blown out, I mean,
is it business? Is it business? I know Russ is gone, but like, what about everybody else? It's like you got to look at that roster. You got to kind of. It kind of sucks because you're stuck at You can't get a young guy because that defense is fairly. The stars are getting older, so you need to plug and play somebody. But it's like defensive coordinator. Does that just to me? I'm sick of these. If you change the coordinators, it doesn't do anything.
I don't think the defense coordinator. I don't think the defense is the issue. I still think you're dealing with the offense, and I think we are missing some skill positions. I think you need receivers. I think Najee is what he is, but he's not in the same league as. I think Najee. If you talk about the best 32 backs in the league, he's middle of the pack at best.
I agree.
So I think you grab a great, fresh set of legs running back. I think you continue to bolster the, you grab maybe another offensive lineman. I think you grab a couple great wide receivers.
Here's my thing that I'm sick about. Their line is fairly young. It should be good. They wasted a lot. Yeah. They've had a lot of draft capital in the past couple of years with their line. When do we start looking at Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach? Like, this dude stinks.
Yeah, he's not very good.
They got rid of what's the guy that's in L.A.
Yeah,
he's all pro now.
Yeah,
I mean, how is he like nobody? He's like he's getting a free pass.
Yeah. No, I think you could see changes with him too. It'll be interesting. Do you think that? Do you think we're going to lose our offensive coordinator to a head coaching? I don't think he's going to get a head coaching.
Oh, it'd be the best if the Bears somehow hired him. The best ever.
I think he'll be back at Pittsburgh next year. So I think if you do that, I just think I've told you this before, and I've mentioned this on the podcast. I think we're at least a year or two away from a draft perspective to be able to be in that echelons with Philly and these other guys. I just think we need more bodies. They did a great job. You're right. The line is young.
Yeah.
I think they're strong. Again, the defense, you got some aging pieces, but you also got, Highsmith is not an aging piece yet. You still got, you grabbed Herbig, which is he's going to be decent. Again, the goal is this. People don't realize this. I mean, so TJ Watt's 31, JJ retired at 33.
Let me ask you a question. Did you watch that game yesterday, the Penn State game? You watch the whole thing?
No, I didn't. I watched parts of it, yeah.
I would trade TJ Watt right now next year for that kid at Penn State that was playing on the outside. I don't know, his number 13 or something like that.
Is he the one just declared for the draft this year?
I'm guessing he had to have. That kid had won. He's gonna.
What's his name?
Something, and he's got a funky last name, dude. He's gonna be. He does.
Spoken like an old white guy.
Let me see, but dude, it's so hard to do anything with this mask on.
So what if you got if you trade TJ Watt and they say you get would you trade him for a 1 and a 3?
You better, dude. Mac at his age got 2 first-round draft picks.
Well, then maybe a 1 and a 2, maybe.
2, I'd say two ones and yeah.
If you could get 2 1s for him now, I think the 2 guys we have are adequate, and you draft another one. I would trade him.
It is Abdul Carter.
He may be the one that I think they just announced that he opted for the draft this year.
That dude, TJ. I saw him and I was getting the tingles. I was like, that guy right there, he's it. I would draft him number 1 if I was a team. I would. He would be the first pick of the draft.
I mean, how about this too? And I've heard this too. Maybe it's time to trade Miko away.
I think that's more scheme than anything, dude. I just do. They have him playing crazy. There's a couple guys that I'm eyeing for the draft that I know. Hey, RB1 running back from Iowa. He is the Steelers' RB1 next year. They got to get him. Got to get him.
What round do you think he'll pop out at?
Third.
Yeah, I think you grab him then.
Get him RB1, and then got to get a receiver. You have to.
Yeah,
you got to get a defensive lineman too.
Oh, you do. You need that. You probably need a couple of receivers actually. It depends if this Roman Wilson kid can actually do anything.
He's playing this week because they just cut. My guy Scotty Miller. He's been getting run on this team all year. Think about that. How bad they're Scotty Miller.
So did they actually bring? Did they activate Wilson? Is he on the active roster?
They cut Scotty Miller, so it tells me they had to have activated Will. He's. I think when it comes playoff time, there's no I don't think I think either the rosters expand or something of the sort.
Well, that'd be good. That's because I can't watch any more of what you would call it. What's their number 2 guy? Jefferson. Oh, Vance.
That dude should be playing in the XFL.
He's bad.
He hate me, whatever the guy's name is.
He's bad. I don't know. So I think we're in for a barn burner. Hopefully, you guys next week you'll get to hear a positive Yinzer Bros podcast as we steam ahead to our next stop. Well, here's the reality. So Tim, who's the 7 seed?
Denver.
Denver's the 7 seed. So they play the. Who are they playing? Who they play?
The Bills. The Bills.
They play the Bills. If they knock off the Bills and then they play Kansas City.
Yeah, I know. And we would go play the Texans, winner of the Texans Charger game. Could you imagine that, TJ?
That'd be a pretty sweet dealio.
I'd be fitting myself up for an AFC title ring in about 3 seconds. I'd be like, here we go.
Because let's be real. Buffalo has had their struggles in the playoffs too, Tim.
Could you imagine after all this crap, me and you were talking about the Steelers versus the Chiefs in the AFC title game?
That'd be crazy. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, that's about it for the Yinzer Bros tonight. Again, if you like what you hear, please subscribe. Please, pass around to everybody. We need more subscribers, guys. Help us out here, man.
Pass it around. And I'll tell you right now, you pass it around. If we get over 120 subscribers by next week, I'll be doing some crazy stuff on here. Crazy stuff on here if they win.
Let's do this, Tim. If they do that, why don't we say this? We got to break. We got to go. Yeah, the 120 thing. I got Tim for Christmas these Steeler overalls, and I think Tim, what if we say that you wear those shirtless?
I'll do it. Oh man, that's gonna be bad.
They're a little big because I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know Tim's cup size. I had to guess.
That would be. That's bad. We make it censored. We may not be able to
That's true. Depending if you get some of that side top.
There's a bald-headed, bearded female that just their breast is just out.
It can be bad. Thanks for hanging out with us again. Once again, we're the Yinzer Bros. We're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number 1 out here, all right?
We'll see you. Here we go.